Date, May 15th, 1981, line 8. Time, 23:14:28.
Radio.
Yeah, radio. The Elks Club, am I going to Chicago?
Elks Club.
Yeah, it meant just be shot.
Right.
Okay.
The homicide itself and the evidence tampering had one thing in common. It was one irrational act followed by another irrational act.
On the night of May 15th, 1981, Jay Given was leaving the Elks Club in East Chicago when he was shot in the back of the head. Given, the political power broker and former East Chicago city attorney, was leaving a fundraiser teeming with some 400 people. Remarkably, no one saw who killed him.
When you think about it, who would, in his right mind, kill somebody at a fundraiser where there are potentially 400 witnesses? And who in his right mind would damage evidence that's in police custody that's tied to a murder? So, very irrational.
East Chicago Police Chief Gus Flores was the lead detective on the Given killing. He recently unsealed evidence in the mysterious case for the first time in nearly 30 years.
This has not been opened since the day that it was sealed, the day of.
From the start, the case was hampered by a compromised crime scene and a fear among witnesses that they could be in danger if they told what they saw.
And unfortunately, because of the lack of control of the scene, people were actually walking over the body, stepping over the body as they came in or went out. So it was not very well preserved. They forgot what they learned, you know, and they were more in awe of who it was and didn't do what they were trained to do and supposed to do. So I can understand why those mistakes were made, but they're inexcusable.
Investigators from several departments soon joined the case, including the FBI and the Indiana State Police. The additional help became especially important once officers focused on a suspect within the East Chicago Police Department.
The bullet casing were found by the crime scene investigator. Subsequent to that, we discovered that the bullet and casing had been tampered with to try to prevent it from being matched to the weapon that fired it. We didn't find out until after the FBI informed us of that.
Testing on the evidence, even damaged, showed it was shot from a rare .45 caliber Detonix handgun.
When we found out that it was a Detonix, we felt it was kind of narrowed down even more because we only knew of one person of the entire police department that carried a Detonix, and that happened to be John Cardona, who was the deputy chief of police at the time.
Witnesses told police they saw Given fighting with a man in the lobby of the building shortly before the shooting. At least one witness identified that man as Cardona.
Every single person on the police department, including civilians, was asked to take a polygraph. The only person that refused and hired an attorney was John Cardona.
But after reviewing a mountain of circumstantial evidence, investigators and then prosecutor Jack Crawford never felt they had enough to charge anyone with the killing.
You know, I had a pretty high standard of evidence when I filed my cases, and I felt that wasn't quite there. Others thought that that we had it, but I just wasn't real comfortable, 100% sure that we had it. Maybe with renewed interest and bringing it back out to the public, there will be people out there that have lost whatever fears they had back then, and will come forward. I hope they do. We'll be ready to listen and to do what we have to do to resolve this once and for all.